Hi folks, Gamerbug here again, and once again we are playing the Black Death version 0.12, the Long Night update, and we are having a look at the Hunter class. So the Hunter is third tier class, if you want to look at them as tiers, which they are, but they don't seem to think that they are. And I've played with him now for a few nights, been alive for 14 days as you can see in the top corner. And I have to say, I really like this class. It's weird because it's kind of felt like going back a bit to my roots, because I used this class in my very first playthrough of the game, where I did about 10 episodes. And yeah, I still like the class quite a lot. As a matter of fact, I like it probably more than I did then. So as you can see, I'm stood at a house and you can hear the fireplace crackling. That's not here because it's weird that that's where the oven would go. I'm going to move over here now. So we'll stand here. It's got light, so I don't need to. Yeah. Let's move somewhere a bit lighter. Right over here. Right, so anyway, here's our chat. Yeah, I like the class. I like the class a lot. So, I can't believe I can still hear that fire. What's good about him? Well, as always, let's have a look at the skills. But what I will say is, with the exception of the sword on my side there, everything on my character I can make. So what you see is what you get. And I quite like that. So yeah, let's have a look at the skills that we get. Well, we get, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 skills? Well, 10 skills actually, which isn't a great amount of skills. It's not lots, but this is a sort of tier above peasant, and it's a fair amount. But what do they get that's extra to being a peasant, and what do they lose that a peasant had? So we get this, which is a bone meal, which is a recipe for food. It's actually awesome. It's really good. I'll tell you why in a little bit. They get to be able to make a bone spear, which is actually a pretty good spear. I must admit, it looks cool. I think it looks awesome. There it's there. Let's just pull it out. I think the bone spear looks great. It really does. So I like that. I think it's the only other spear in the game, unless the Outlaw's got one, because I've tried every other class. But yeah, I like the bone spear a lot. Damage wise, not too bad, not too shabby at all. They get to make a recurve bow, which I've not actually made, if I'm perfectly honest. I'll go into bows and what I think about them in a little bit. They get to make a bone wood axe, which is an absolutely fine axe, nothing wrong with that at all, and really easy to make. Leather coif does 2 armor. I did make one, but it looked horrible because all the coifs look horrible in this game. So let's just clear that out of the way. So yeah, it's fine. Just gives you 2 armor, I believe. They can make leather chest armor, which looks absolutely fine, and they can make leather trousers. So that's what they can all make there. Then they get stone trap, animal trap, iron animal trap. Go into each of those in a bit as well. So the armor, just go over that quickly. They can make all the armor I'm wearing. So there's my leather trousers. Got my leather gloves on, which you actually don't. You keep them from a previous career. I haven't got my coif on. Bow and axe at the side there. Yeah, it's a really nice class, like I say. So let's have a look at the actual skills. Let's make sure I'm not. Yeah, I am hungry, so eat some bone meal and let's drop some water down our throat. So what do they keep from being a peasant? Actually nothing here. This is all beggar stuff. But they get bone meal, which requires bone and animal fat to make, which you'll get off about 70% of animals you kill. Now I was used to bin that, thinking it was a load of rubbish. Don't. Make this whenever you can. It gives you, and I didn't realise this at all, so this class isn't what I would call I didn't grind this class, I actually just played the class and enjoyed it. Because it hasn't really got skills to help you grind. In other words, there's no high experience skills. It gives you 145 experience points. Make that every time you can to get through this class. Unless you're not in a rush, in which case make it when you need it. But it is a good way to get yourself some experience points, get those skills you need. So yeah, nothing in here apart from bone meal that's new. Everything else is beggar stuff. Fair enough. In here, that's beggar stuff too. I'll skip weapons for now. In tools, everything's beggar stuff apart from the bone wood axe. So in a sense, they're not dissimilar to the knight here at the minute. You know, have got some food though, and they have got an axe that they can craft, so that's better than the knight. Housing, unlike the knight, which I still think is probably a glitch, they've got all of this still available to them, which wasn't available for the knight, like I say, so it's beggar and peasant in there. Clothing wise, again we've got the coif. I'm beginning to think that that's probably part of the beggar skill tree now. I'm going to have to go back and have a look. Keep leather, brilliant. They keep the peasant's tunic for some weird reason, and the wicker hat, but that's cool. Leather gloves they keep from being a peasant, so again already better than a knight. And then they can make these by learning them. And here we keep those two, which everyone gets. No ingots available to this class at all, so that's the downside. But they get these traps. And then weapon wise, let's have a quick look. So they keep this is all, I think just to there is beggar. That's peasant, I think. That's peasant. That is peasant, I believe. And these two they can learn. Now the flat bow I have crafted up, and the bows sort of work better than they used to. They seem to fly further, which is nice, but connection just feels iffy, and they're useless at combat. It took me point blank range to kill a wolf. So they're probably only really useful for hunting animals. And they still degrade, but they seem to degrade a little bit slower. It could be that it was a flat bow I was using, I'm not entirely sure. But they look cool, and arrows are really good to make, you know. Easy to get the sticks and the small rocks. So, you know, if you want to hunt animals, I found as well that if you, let me just come out of that, sorry. If you crouch and slowly walk towards animals, this will ignore that chicken, but they tend not to run or bolt as fast, so then you can like pop your bow out and shoot them. So it does kind of work, but some of the animals really need sorting because they do run too fast still. So yeah, skill wise, pretty good. I mean, they don't get as many skills as some of the other classes, but they get a good healthy amount of them. And they're one of the first classes who've got a really good, and I'm going to demonstrate it actually, really, really good class skill. I was trying to think the word there. Yeah, really good class skill, and I'm going to demonstrate the class skill now. So here we go. Boom. 2. Come on. Right, that'll do. And I'll demonstrate it just here. It doesn't really matter. So if I go to the animal, this animal trap's the best one, by the way. The first one's got too many ingredients. It's fine, but it's just got too many ingredients. That's way too much for the basic trap. Seeing as that's got 2, and that's really easy as well. And it needs an iron ingot. But you can buy them from blacksmiths, so it's not such a problem that you can't craft them yourself. Oh, hello. Who's he running from? Oh, me, I think it's because I pulled my sword out. Right, anyway. So we go F. You can then equip another one if you've got another one. We'll leave that alone. We'll come back to that in a second. It says I've still got one, but I haven't. If you look at the very bottom there, here, I haven't actually got one in, as you can see. It's weird though, because that left it in there, but if you've got a second one, it actually sort of unequips itself. So if I pop back now, no, it's still not there yet. It doesn't take long for it to fill up. Go talk to this merchant. So it's got a really good class skill.
Hi there.
You got any like food?
Don't be a stranger.
Just eat that.
Come back soon.
And that's different compared to other classes. The only class skill I've felt so far that's been any good is the peasants and the blacksmiths. I mean, the monks is okay, but I just haven't seen other characters to heal them. So yeah, I think they've got a really good class skill. Sometimes, by the way, this trap, literally you walk away, turn around, come back, and it's done. Now, where the hell did I put it? There. So what you do, as soon as you see a fox corpse like that, pick it up, and you get all of those ingredients there. So piece of meat, common bone, animal pelt. You can make loads of those traps and lay them all down in a row. So you got yourself leather, tons of leather there. Said to BioWick. Yeah, so you got tons of leather, tons of bone for bone axes and bone spears, or if you kill some animals and they didn't drop a bone but they dropped the animal fat, bone meal. You can make bone clubs. It's only 5 points experience points for a bone club, but hey, why not? See how fast that animal disappeared off there. Watch this. They are so quick. Look, how are you meant to catch that? But I did find, like I say, if you crouch down, I don't know if I can do it. They should stop. Anyway, so yeah, bone's great, leather's great, food. So you can always keep yourself an axe on you. Always, doesn't matter if it's awful quality or whatever. You'll always get the same stuff from it, at least at the moment. That pig's gone, hasn't he? And yeah, it's just a really good skill. The iron one, so if you can get iron, and you can get it, for example, often from here, from BioWick, anywhere like a blacksmith, you'll possibly be able to get maybe 1 or 2 ingots. Then again, 2 pieces of wood, 1 iron ingot, and you get much higher quality stuff, and you usually get more of it as well. So, you know, I just got 3 things there, and you've pretty much guaranteed on wooden traps to get 3 things. You'll often get 5. It's like a couple of pelts and a couple of meat or a couple of bones or something, which is really cool. So obviously this dude here, as I say, it's not selling any a minute, but this guy often sells common and awful iron ingots, which is more than enough really. You only get 20 experience points for crafting them, so it's not great. Nothing gives you loads. I found that laying those traps down and crafting leather gloves when you get 3 bits of leather at, for example, the workbench over here, was really good, because you can lay them anyway. You can just put them in town, and I just would make 4 or 5 and just line them up, just walk away and come back, and then go craft some food up and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I mean, they're not, like I say, with the exception of, now I found it out, that bone meal, which is ace for actually grinding through the class fast. Yeah, these are all just really solid skills, and they can do everything. I would argue that they need to increase or decrease the weapon damages somewhat. 24 for their best weapon is a bit pants. You think that the knight and blacksmith best ones do 105, 95, 100? That's ridiculous. You know, the jumping class, I think an iron sword is like, I don't know, 36. So they need something comparable, I think, to that. So it would be nice if there was a better spear they could maybe make. But I mean, besides that, they are a really good class. Just a quick overview. That costs 1 point. I think get it immediately. I think that's maybe 2. That's 4. I got that last because I wasn't bothered about it. And the flatbow did the job. That might be 1. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, I think. So yeah, none of them expensive either, and that's 3 to open up the Outlaw. So I'll be going to Outlaw next, but is this a good class? Yeah, I loved it. I really enjoyed playing it. I would actually go back and play this class just to be a hunter. Yeah, I think they're quite nice classes. I wish that maybe they could have made some slightly better leather armour, you know, like studded leather. And I wish that maybe the bone weapons they did a little bit more damage, because they're not a great deal better than some of the basic stuff. But besides that, I love them. I really do love this class. I think they're great. I think these and Militia are really good classes. I do think that they're very good, and particularly as they're both on the same tier, I think they're quite even. Then you've got on the same tier, you've got Merchant. Merchant's a bit bleh, you know. They're all right, but they're just a class you want to blast through to get through to the next one. This one I could happily spend time as this class, you know. If less classes as well could do leather, I'd be probably happier. But the Militia can do leather, the Blacksmith can do leather, the Merchant can do leather. Can't remember about the Monk. Yeah, so too many classes can do leather, but if these were the only class that could do leather, or maybe even peasant as well, I don't mind peasant being able to do leather, that would be cool. You know, because people would have to come to you to get that bit of leather. But I mean, that's the whole thing of whether I've said it many times, I'm not sure about the sort of balanced economy thing. But overall, I think they're a damn good class and they're fun to play. I'm going to be going on to the Outlaw, which is the last class I have to try out. And I put these definitely in amongst those great classes. So the Blacksmith's the best class. Whether I enjoy it the most is irrelevant. It's the best class. Beyond that, I would say Hunter, Militia, Peasant, then probably Merchant, and then I've not tried Outlaw, Monk after Merchant, and then actually no, I think I'm Monk after Peasant actually. Knight and Beggar are about equal in my personal opinion. I think I'd rather be a beggar. Yeah, so the Outlaw's the interesting one to see next. So yeah, thank you for watching, and like I say, it is a really good class. Well done to the devs on this one. They feel like they've got this one down quite well. And like I say, their special ability is the one that I found the most use out of, with the exception of the Peasants, and really enjoyed using it. All the other ones so far, again with the exception of the Blacksmiths, just felt they're there for the sake of being there. So yeah, hope to see you in the next video, and until then, Gamerbug out.